Manchester Marathons have you organised?
This is the second Greater Manchester Marathon. We've organised about 40 triathlons in the past as well, because we've come from a triathlon organising background, and then this is the second Greater Manchester Marathon. It's actually the 37th Manchester Marathon in history, and the Manchester Marathon was actually the first 26.2 mile amateur marathon ever in the world. So it's quite a significant race, and we feel very privileged to now be the custodians of this race.
And with regards to the organising, what's the process of that, everything that you do and the time frame, how long it takes?
Well, unless you've got a month, it's very difficult to go into, but it's a vast project, right from just the concept and bringing the concept to the local councils, taking it to what you see today. It takes an immense amount of work and planning, but it's all worthwhile when you see 6,000 people running off down the street with happy smiley faces. It's fantastic. And then when you hear about the tens and tens of thousands of people out on the course cheering people on, and the people that get inspired by the race, and the communities that have got involved in the race, and the churches that put big banners outside saying welcome to marathon runners, it's fantastic. And to feel that we can inspire and motivate so many people is fantastic.
I've noticed as well that the route had been changed slightly this year.
Yep.
What are the reasons for that?
Well, like I said, every event we do and everything we do, we review it and improve it. And we reviewed the race last year, and we looked at the areas that the runners really enjoyed and that brought out the spectators. We looked at the areas that weren't so enjoyable. I'm sure you're aware the weather was biblical last year, and it was dreadful. And we found that there were certain areas of the course that couldn't cope with weather like that. So we have to plan the route to be able to cope with all weather conditions. So we took out the areas that couldn't cope with torrential rain, and we've also focused on the areas of the course where we get lots of spectators and the runners enjoy it. So hopefully we've got a course now that is comparable with some of the best in the world. It's also now the flattest marathon course in the UK, so it gives it an extra special feature as well.
Yeah. Well, how does it feel after all the organising that you do for this event, when you get here and you see all the community and everyone that's come and got involved? How does it feel?
It's quite humbling, really, and to see. I was on the traffic line that we set up the other day. I was just chatting to a few people for a couple of hours, and the people ringing up trying to negotiate the way around the road closures. Some fantastic people, and some incredibly supportive people, saying, "I don't mind. I understand the roads are closed, but it's fantastic that you're bringing this race to the area." Obviously, there's some people that do object to it, but I think when you look at it, the positives outweigh the negatives enormously.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, Ron Hill has been running for 1960.
Yeah.
How does it feel for him to keep coming back?
Well, to have somebody like Ron Hill as an ambassador for the race and to support the race, it's just unbelievable. He's a world-renowned marathon runner. He's ex-world record holder. He's known throughout the marathon running community worldwide, and for him to be here to support his home race, it's just brilliant. We've also got Steve Kenyon here as well, who's the fastest ever Manchester Marathon runner, and to have those guys here starting the race is just brilliant.
And have you ever run a marathon, or do you plan to run any?
I've done a couple of halves, but I'm going to hopefully do a marathon to raise money for the hospital that's treating my son in October. So it's too much hard work planning one to be able to do the training.
What charity is it that you're running for?
Probably for Manchester Children's Hospital.